Then two men will be in the field. One will be taken and the other left. Two women will be grinding at the mill. One will be taken and the other left. Watch therefore, for you do not know what hour your Lord is coming. That is Matthew 24, verses 40 through 42. If you're like me, you've grown up in church and you've heard these three verses as proof of the believers of the church being taken out or raptured before the tribulation. These three verses actually are where the book series Left Behind and even in the movies were made, where Kirk Cameron he's on the plane and the rapture occurred and all these suits are left laying in the plane, or the bodies are gone but the suits are left, and all that starts happening, crashes and stuff like that going on. These are the three verses where that comes from. Well, these three verses are actually taken out of context. And it's very easy to show that not only are they taken out of context and don't really say or prove a pre-tribulation rapture, what they actually do is prove that they've got it backwards. I mean, it is so inaccurate, it's backwards. We can show that it's actually better to be left behind. Now, how can that be? I mean, because we got to be taken out here, right? Well, let's just go look. Okay. Now, I always recommend read the whole chapter. Don't just read, these three verses or go back and then, because if you do that, you're going to start taking a whole lot of stuff out of context and you start to lose a whole lot of meaning. It happens so many times. So read the whole chapter. But in this particular instance, we don't have to go all the way back. I recommend you do. But if we just go back to verse 37, easily prove this is backwards. So let's go there. Chapter 24, verse 37. But as the days of Noah were, so also will the coming of the Son of Man be. Now Noah, right, he was the man, the righteous man, and he was the one that was going to be saved from the flood, right, he and his family, and was going to be able to save all mankind, right? So, okay, that's Noah. Verse 38, for as in the days before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered the ark. All right, so here he goes, and everybody else is just, life is normal. Life is normal. And did not know until the flood came and took them all away. So also will the coming of the Son of Man be. So they did not know. All right. So all of these other people that was just living their life and going on, they're not righteous. They're not going to be protected. They didn't know until the flood came and took them away. All right. So who's left? Noah. Who's taken away? The non-believers. Now we get back to verse 40. Then two men will be in the field. One will be taken, the other left. The flood. Two women will be grinding at the mill. One will be taken, the other left. Watch therefore, for you do not know what hour your Lord is coming. Now that verse itself has been used out of context. You need to be watching, because if you're not watching, you might miss out on this rapture and you might be left behind. You don't want to be left behind. Well, we just read you do want to be left behind. You don't want to be taken. You don't want to be taken. So, watch therefore, you do not know what hour your Lord is coming. Well, if you know you're not supposed to be taken, then you're watching for that. If you don't know, you may be taken, or you're going to be taken and don't even realize you're being taken. Now, what does that mean? What am I saying? I'm saying that this is not proof of a pre-tribulation rapture. Matter of fact, I think it's quite contrary. I'm afraid we've been misled on so many things, especially concerning the end times. Today we just looked at this one, and it's inaccurate. It's backwards. You can't deny that. The only way you can deny that is to close your eyes and say, well, no, that's not what it means. But that's just what it said. That's what it said. It's dangerous. It's dangerous when you take things out of context. There's one. I want to share some others. But right here, it's not good to be taken. You need to be left behind. So that's how we can leave it today.